Doctor Who Rosa, the third episode of Series 11, is written by Mallory Blackman and Chris Chibnall, and starring Jodie Whittaker, Bradley Walsh, Mendeb Gill, and Tosin Cole. Not to be confused with Rose, the first Revival era episode. So yeah, this episode sets in just before Rosa Parks' arrest for refusing to give up her seat. This episode deals with heavy themes and includes blatant depictions of racism. They shot this episode in Cape Town in South Africa. This episode opens with Montgomery, Alabama in 1943, where Rosa Parks gets on the bus. Because she sort of refused to use the door at the back, it's a different time, she's thrown off the bus. In 1955, the TARDIS team arrived. The woman with her husband has dropped her gloves. As soon as Ryan goes over to them to give her the gloves back, I was like, uh-oh, it does look like it's trouble. And as soon as the bloke slapped him, about to have a fight, I was like, whoa! I was really shocked watching that scene. It's lucky that Rosa stepped in. Bennett Robinson, who previously played Abby in 42, plays Rosa Parks, civil rights campaigner, who's known to refuse to give up her seat in the bus. And I thought she's perfect for the role. The American accent she puts on is incredible. The TARDIS team discuss what happened in the history at the cafe until they got kicked out. It's pretty intense where a police car arrived. I was like, uh-oh. They carried on a conversation in the hotel, and of course the policeman arrived. And I love the bit where Graham pretends to be Steve Jobs, and then the police left and everyone carried on. We learn that Corisco is a mass murderer and got sent to the same prison cell where Riversong ended up in for killing the Doctor, who's got Vortex Manipulator device that Captain Jack and Riversong uses. He plans to change a bit of history, and I think Joshua Bowman nailed it. After the Doctor has a little chat to Rosa in the bus as she got off to her house, Ryan follows her. He meets Raymond Parks, Rosa's husband, played by David Rubin, a Baptist minister, Martin Luther King Jr., played by Ray Sese, and a civil rights attorney, Fred Gray, played by Arkia Moshebi, and I think they're great too. I love the fact that Ryan says his nan would be chuffed to hear Martin Luther King Jr. saying sorry to hear that Grace has died. I also love the bit where Graham plays pool with James Blake, then he turns up with Ryan where he's fishing. It was pretty hilarious, just winding James up. Trevor White plays James F. Blake, American bus driver who asked Rosa to move, and I thought his acting is brilliant. You just hate that guy. And I'm sure Trevor White is a nice guy in real life. The fact that James has a day off, Graham managed to get him back on work on the day he should, which is 1st of December 1955. While the Doctor and Yaz got Elias Griffin Jr. to go on holiday, then the Doctor ripped her coat just to stay close to Rosa. And I love the moment while Rosa, stitches up the Doctor's coat, she has a chat with Yaz. And absolutely mind-blown when she found out that Yaz is a police officer. Ryan managed to defeat Krasko. The Dr. Graham, Yaz and Rosa got on, and so did Ryan. More customers came in. Where it got packed, the TARDIS team needed to stay on the bus. As a result, James Blake asked Rosa to move.
If you don't stay, I'm gonna have you arrested.
You may do that.
She, of course, refused, so he calls the police. Rosa gets arrested. Poor Graham, that he didn't want to be part of the history, you could see that he's pretty upset about it. The play is Rise Up by Andra Day, which is a good fitting. In the end, the Doctor explains to her companions what happened to Rosa after her arrest, and the fact that she changed the world and being recognised as a living icon for freedom. And as of now, well, the time of recording, there are still racism, but it hasn't been as bad as before Rosa's arrest. And I'm really glad that Rosa exists. She's a very brave woman and will always be remembered. We thank her for everything. I enjoyed this episode. I think it's well written. What did you think of Rosa? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.